Hi, in this video, let's discuss about database replication. So, what is database replication? Database replication is nothing but storing copies of data. And why do we need that? So, if we are having only one database and if that is destroyed, then all our data is lost. So, to preserve the data, we are having multiple copies of data. So, and how is this achieved? It is achieved by master slave replication, also known as primary slave secondary replication. So, if you see in this diagram, we are having slave databases and master databases, and also slave database is a copy of master database. So all the data present in the master database is just present in slave. And we are having multiple copies of slave databases. So all the slave databases supports read operations and master database supports write operation. So whenever a read request, then it is routed to the slave database, and whenever the write request is sent, then it is routed to the master database and data modification is done and then sent back to the server. Then the data from the master database is also updated in the slave database. So this is how the DB master slave database replication works. So what are the advantages? So it has better performance. Suppose if we take a web application, there will be more read operations than write operations. So to process read operations in parallel, we are having multiple slave databases. So generally the performance is faster. And reliability. Even if one database is destroyed, we are having multiple databases. So it's we have more reliability. And what is high availability? So we are having data in multiple forms and also data is always accessible. We will be able to fetch data always. Even if one instance is down, we can fetch the data from other instance. So it's mostly highly available. So what happens if slave database is destroyed? Then the read requests are routed to the another slave databases. So what if master database is destroyed? Then one of the slave database becomes the master database. It takes responsibilities of the master database, and then the remaining slaves acts as slaves. All the write operations are routed to the slave database, which is acting as a master. So now let's come to cache. So to retrieve the data even at a higher, faster rate, we'll be using cache. Suppose when a website is loaded, we'll be performing expensive computations. So we can store these computations in cache. So whenever a website is being reloaded, we no need to perform them again and again. We can just access from cache. And also like we'll be accessing most frequently data, like if I'm accessing my age each and every time, we no need to get it from the database every time. We can store it in cache and then retrieve it from cache. Suppose if any request is sent, then it is routed to the cache and then it searches in cache whether data is present or not. If the data is not present, it is routed to the database, and then from database we'll fetch the data and then store it in cache and then again send back to the server. Then when again the same data is queried, it then goes to cache, so data is present and then it returns to the server. It no need to go to the database to fetch that.